But at the end of the year, I always acknowledge where every student has grown. And so every student knows that like I've seen some type of growth, and every student knows that I see at least one positive thing in them. And so I always let them know, like, because every quarter we do a reflection, and one of the questions is, what is one thing I did well during this quarter? And I let them, and some kids will be like, I didn't do anything well. And I'll just come up with something on the spot. No, that one day when you came in and you read the warm up, you did that super well. Just imagine back in September, you wouldn't have even tried to do it, but you did that this quarter. Write that down. So even those students who haven't been captain, I always try to boost them up and let them know that you were here and you were acknowledged. Like I saw you and I saw your growth. I guess the most popular assessment that I use in my classroom is projects and presentations, because I know how, for me as a student, I do not learn when I'm just constantly being tested with A, B, or C with multiple choice or fill in the blank. I don't learn that way. I have to know that I understand how to use the information I'm given in combination with my creativity, in combination with being able to teach others in the form of a presentation or so forth. Like that's how I know I'm learning the material. And that's how I know that my students are learning the material, if they're able to demonstrate through a project, even if they don't do a presentation, just showing that creativity and being able to manipulate the vocabulary or the language, or even if they use the sentences from our notes, putting it in the correct place, putting it in the correct order. Like, okay, you're identifying, or you understand what that sentence says because you put it in the correct location. It is so important, especially for presentations, for the students to have a rubric to follow. So they know once they get in front of their peers or in front of the classroom, they know what exactly is being evaluated. And they know I'm not going to step outside of that boundary. They can have that relaxation. They're like, if I have my P's and Q's on point with this rubric, I will be okay, because I'm not going to go outside of that. And I let them know, and that's why I repeat it over and over again. Hey, I'm looking for eye contact. I'm looking for your body posture. I'm looking for organization. I'm looking for, at the end, can you answer a basic question about your project? And the overall cohesiveness of your project. That's what I'm looking for. And I won't step outside of that. With speaking loud and clear, I'm not going to go into your accent. So don't try to perfect an accent. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your confidence when you're up there. So practice at home, practice in front of a mirror. I want them to take it seriously, because so many, especially during my student teaching, so many presentations I would see with kids just not even caring. They get up there and they don't care. They do care. They just don't know how they feel as if they're being judged, and they don't know what they're being judged on. As soon as I realized my style of teaching was going to be project-based, I knew that I had to find a way to make them feel comfortable with getting in front of the classroom, because it's hard for me to get in front of my peers. In front of the kids, it's just acting, but to get in front of my peers that are evaluating me, that's nerve-wracking. So I want to know what they're evaluating me on and what they're looking at. What are they judging and critiquing? And so as far as giving that immediate feedback, I don't want the kids to go home thinking like, oh my God, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I want them to know exactly what I saw then and there. And if I don't get a chance to do it right after a presentation, I do it in the next class. Just so they know that I was paying attention, and I saw them as an individual, even if it's a group presentation. I was looking at them as well, and I acknowledged the hard work that they put in. And then also, I just think it's important for them to know that nobody's perfect. Like even if you do get a 15 out of 15, there's still some things that you can work on. Good job. So what I want your organization was perfect. You understood the material. I need to see your beautiful eyes. You know you can look at me, okay? Body posture, you had your hand in your pocket. Come on now. And loud and clear. You have a strong voice. Voz muy fuerte. Úsalo, okay? Don't be shy. But you're going to have 5. Oh, I forgot to put 5. Plus 5 for going today. Good job, okay? Here we go. So you got 3 points for being organized. I need to see your beautiful eyes. Look up. Show me your eyes. Everything else is perfect. Okay? Good job.
So we're going to use this rubric. It should look familiar from Miss Gilliard's class. So beginning would be if you guys came into these new tables. I didn't see any ones today that were like, oh my gosh, Miss, no, I can't do it. I won't do it. Okay? And then 2 would be like, what? Maybe we don't say anything, but you're just like, I can't believe Miss Minas put me next to her. I can't believe Miss Bitter would think I want to work over here. Okay? Proficient would be that you just come in, you're like, oh yeah, cool, this is nice. I can handle this. I can work with this person. It's totally fine. A 3 would be, yes, this is great. I've never had the opportunity to work with Abner, or I always wanted to work with Santos. I've never really talked to him before. So that would be a 3. And then a 4 would be you guys are working so well together that you might be the first to get something done to accomplish your goal because you're all supporting each other. You're all excited to work together, open to working with each other. Okay, so Ms. Namias and I are going to be grading that today. We have a clipboard. We're keeping track of how we're doing with our roles, making sure nobody's like, oh, I can't believe I'm here, okay?
Assessments is a challenging thing to do well, because I want to get the students to that point where they're able to self-assess. Because if I know the formula, then I have the keys and I'm driving the car. But if I can show them the formula, then they have the keys. They're in control of not only just knowing, did I do this right or did I do this wrong, but here's what I need to do next time. Here's a goal that I can set for myself to improve for next time. And so throughout the very few years that I've been teaching, I've tried a lot of different things, and I love trying different things. Most often with my younger students, I've done checklists. One for reading, one for writing, one for listening, one for speaking, and I've kind of played around with them to make them so that the language on them is student friendly. I'll come up with a short list of expectations that I want students to always be remembering, whether it's strategies while they're reading, whether it's checking for the capital letter at the beginning of the sentence, the period at the end. Just those 4 or 5 things that will be true for any writing activity that we do, and that can also carry over, those skills that can carry over to other classes. So those checklists are something that we can go over together, and then I can hand them over to the students. And the more writing activities we do together, the more they're able to check their own work with those lists. With the preposition lesson, when I was teaching in, on, and at, and what I wanted to know was, are students able to choose the right one in the right situation? And so when I was listening to them talk to each other, when I heard them using the right one in the right situation, I would give a check mark. And that's something that I can use then to go back and refer to see who might need more practice with which one. Or maybe with this group, they really, the majority of the group has a handle on this, but this group over here, maybe this is worth another 1 or 2 lessons on the same thing.
Now, while you guys are talking to each other, I'm going to be listening and I'm going to be writing down. Did you say it the right way? Did you use the right preposition? Okay? Okay. Go ahead.
I will answer it.
Ready, set, talk.
I will answer it. Where do you live? Where do you live? At pick one. You have to pick one. No, you no, the person gets the counter answer the question from here. Where do you live? That's been I buy food and okay.